We have made it to good. Nothing but positive vibes. Let's get started. Purple Steve. Origins? Steve Saga? Doesn't matter. I like this guy. In Origins, he has a voice, and that voice has an accent, and those are immediately my favorite people. Also, he looks for, like, little treasures and stuff, and I kinda like that. And in the Steve Saga, he's all shy and quiet. And, the brain fried episodes are hilarious. Good character, Saber. And speaking of Saber, we have Saber. Now, when I tell you, Saber has gone through the most drastic character development I have ever seen a character go through. He went from, I killed an innocent person, to, I'm going to save this entire world of people I do not belong to. Name a more drastic character development right now. I dare you. How? Anyway, he's the one who made the show, so I can't really rate him any lower. And besides, this is pre-season 2, so the whole silly Saber thing hasn't happened, so, you know, he gets up a little higher. As for Lucas in space, confused Lucas is best Lucas, and even though he's confused all the time, he was confused a little more while he was in space, so, you know, it was a little funnier. I don't know why, Lucas's humor was just more funny to me than Saber's was. I guess it's just a me thing. The parasite! He looked cool and was scary. There's nothing behind those eyes though, so I guess he was just scary enough and cool looking enough to make it into good. Faceless provided us with some of the funniest episodes. The double Saber and double Rainbow episodes were 2 of the funniest episodes on the Steve Saga, and you cannot tell me otherwise. It got memed half to death, and I thank him for it. Also, changelings are cool. Anyway, next up we have Illusion or Reality Steve. Now, even though my opinion on Season 2 has been tainted, Illusion Reality Steve, he's the exception. I really liked him. Yeah, he's up here. I really liked his sass, his powers were really cool. It was like Hypno Steve, but a little more emphasis on, you know, illusions. He's up here because he's cool and he somehow surpassed my opinions of Season 2 altogether. Ah, yes, the Guardian of the Spirit World. I just really like his voice. Mev did a good job. I really like Guardian's voice. Also, his character is kind of cool. He was reason number 2 or 3 of why I continued watching the Illusion arc or the Steve Saga Season 2, because he was the normal person compared to Saber's not normalness. Well, we've met the Guardian of Heaven. Now to, well, he's not the Guardian of not heaven, but he might as well be. Void Steve. He killed Rainbow. He does not deserve love. I didn't know Saber was so skilled in making me hate characters. At least this time, I'm certain it was intentional. He's a really good bad guy, and I think he's so cool and so edgy and stuff, and the plot twist with him and Galaxy Steve is just mwah. C'est magnifique. Origin Steve. He makes me uncomfy, but I'm pretty sure that was the intention, so, you know, he's up there. He's a good villain. I really still really like Origin Steve. Saber, you had a character that could erase people's memories already in the Steve Saga, and for Origins, you decide the person to erase Rainbow's memories would be a random Steve we've never met. And not Memory Steve! I love Hypno, I really do, okay? I love him to death, but really? Really? You had one! You had a memory eraser, Steve! Also, he was really dapper and really spooky. Like, his episodes were the spookiest, I'm telling you. Like, fantastic character. Now, the one who has been done dirtier is the Dirty Steve. Plague. I understand you didn't want to remind us of COVID or whatever, but most of us don't care. We really wanted him in Rainbow Quest. Okay, he was so cool in the Steve Saga. Plague Steve was so cool. Fantastic personality. I love him. We stand Plague Steve. We regret to inform you that we are out of good characters. We're gonna have to move on to Poggers characters. Come on, guys, let's go. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I said that. We're gonna start off with Shadow Steve. This is a vibes character because he has no character, but I feel like he sleeps with a teddy bear. Also, I thought he was pretty OP, and that's kind of cool. Coming up next is the Overseer. One exception to the I don't really like Blue Steve's rule. because he grew out of his hatred for Alex, and we love a growing character. Also, he was a sheep, and sheep are cute. Red Steves! Guys, I am so sorry for how dirty they did you in this series. I'm so glad Rainbow Quest made them smart. I cannot stand what they did to them in the Steve Saga. I love fire elemental characters. Fire is so cool. Fire is so cool. And how dare you make the characters with fire the least intelligent characters? Speaking of intelligence, one of them got brain cells, which is fantastic. Professor Red, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I am Professor Red. In personality, I will never be as smart as him. But in here, I am Professor Red. I am sick of people sometimes. And he better not have died by nightmare or dark. He better have died of old age, living a long and happy life, being able to escape the tyranny of the Nightmare King and his Dark Prince. I just hope he's okay. Now, when I said that Saber had the most drastic character development, that meant nothing about the best character development. Galaxy Steve, the plot twist, everything. He got so good. He has responsibilities now. He's taking care of his responsibilities now. Look at this guy. He's also hilarious, by the way. Tootie does a fantastic job. I love this man. He's actually my brother's favorite character, which I've decided to say because I'm putting the link to his channel in the description. I believe he needs more subs, so he has more motivation to post videos. Anyway, sharing a spot, we have Time and Elemental Steve. They share a spot because we do not separate siblings. Even though technically we did separate Shadow and Hypno Steve, and they are siblings, but we don't separate these siblings. They are equal in my heart for my love for them. Time Steve is the ultimate good boy, and Elemental makes me cry every time I look at him. It was this close to meeting Galaxy. This close. Anyway, moving on. Rainbow Steve. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. And of course they took our sunshine away. I will die in a war for Rainbow Steve. This is the most precious man I have ever met. I don't know what I'd do to bring him back, but I'd do many things. He was the sweetest character probably we had ever met. Gray and Slade did a fantastic job. People usually were upset with Rainbow Steve's voice changing, and you know, I was sad about it too, but I love both of them, okay? I love both of them, and I love Rainbow Steve. I really wish his powers worked because we didn't really get to see him at full potential in Origins or in the Steve Saga, which made me sad, but you know, I love him regardless. Yes, Nightmare Steve, the Nightmare King as others call him. King of what? Nothing now, he's dead, and really happy with his life. Not life. I really wish his introduction episode was a little more epic, but other than that, he was a really cool villain, and I loved that he redeemed himself. That was actually kind of cool. I really wonder how he met that Red Steve in the first place. I guess we'll never know. Oh well. Steve Saga fans and people who are here for no good reason, we have traveled great lengths to finally make it to the absolute best. Unlike the other tiers, this one is actually in order of how much I like them. So, we're going to start off with my darling Light Steve. I said Memory Steve was done dirty, I said Plague Steve was done Light Steve has been done the dirtiest. Name me a Steve with a worse life. This guy has died, come back, died, come back again, but this time seeming a little worse for wear, and then went on to retirement on Lucas's server, died in an ending that is no longer canon, so therefore he's just wandering somewhere. We don't know where he is. Every time I look at an Oxide Daisy in Minecraft, I cry and I cry and I cry, because that was his flower, and it makes me sad looking at it, because it reminds me of how dirty Light Steve had been done. Just let the poor man sleep, please. Oh, and I forgot the unfortunate circumstances in which he was born. Saber literally pulled Rainbow Steve apart to invent him. Why? This man has had a horrible life. Dark Steve, Nightmare Steve, but cooler. I love this guy. I've said that for all of these characters so far, but like, I love this guy. He's so evil and so cool, and he wanted to overthrow Nightmare and everything. He was gonna become the king instead of him. That was I'm geeking out just thinking about it. And Homeboy refused to die too. That's like a thing in the Nightmare family. Like, if you're dead, no you're not. You're gonna come back. He like died and then he didn't die. He like stored himself inside of a blue Steve. Who does that? How did he do that? That's why he's so cool. Oh, Elder Blue, the evil one specifically. He walked so Hypno could run. And when I tell you he walked, he strutted. I have never been so intimidated by a character before. He's the scariest thing besides Memory in this series. Saber really does know how to scare you, huh? If he voices a character, guaranteed. I like him. He's also an honorary member of the Nightmare family, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's not dead, because, you know, they have this thing where they die and then they're not dead, so I bet he's somewhere hiding in an orchid waiting to be released again. Of course, that's not gonna happen, the Steve Saga's over, but you know, a girl could dream, right? Speaking of evil Elder Blue walking so Hypno could run, Hypno Steve ran. He flew. He was out of there. He may not have won first place in this tier list, but he definitely wins first place for the best laugh, and on the simp tier list, but, you know, don't tell anybody. He may look like if Bill Cipher was square and took illegal substances, but I don't care. He has a chokehold on my heart, and he's, you know, kind of endearing in a creepy way. I like it about him. I also love his little off-screen character development thing where he didn't want to admit he was becoming friends with Rainbow Steve slowly but surely, and then at the end of the Steve Saga, right in front of a bunch of other people, deletes himself so that he can see Rainbow again. I'm sorry. What? Give me a moment. I'm geeking out right now. Now, what I said about him not being needed in Origins and, you know, he could have been easily replaced with Memory Steve, you know, it still holds up. But since I enjoyed his character, you know, it really doesn't mean too much to me. He also should not have showed up in Season 2. I thought the black figure would have been Elemental Steve because he was a black figure when he first appeared to Rainbow and Saber in the past. I thought it'd be him. He just has a thing for showing up in places you'd least expect. Which is a good thing, I suppose. Now, let's move on to Alex. Everyone bow down to the queen! If Dropsy is voicing a character, you can guarantee I'm gonna love them. First Alex and then Ivy. We're talking about Alex though today. Alex was the twist I didn't see coming, or I wouldn't have seen coming if I wasn't curious and looked at the thumbnails of the playlist before I watched the episodes. Because I came into the Steve Saga late, but like if I didn't come in late, she'd be an amazing plot twist. I love her appearance in the show. It's just, wow, there are girls here? Are you kidding me? Like we've said with literally every other character, I love her. She is my favorite character, and is also coincidentally the most powerful character. Now, Saber isn't going to admit that because he likes to retcon his own stuff, but I'm gonna retcon your retcon. She is the most powerful. You said this in the series, I don't care what your tier list says. Anyway, I got sidetracked. The point is, Alex is the best girl, best character, best Alex, also the only Alex, but if there are more of her, she would still be the best. Oh, but wait! There's one more character. Of course. How could I forget? Space Puff. Oh, Space Puff. The most powerful character in the Steve Saga. The greatest character to ever exist. Oh man, how could it have slipped my mind? Who could be a better character than Space Puff? The most... Wow, I need to stop this. I'm really bad at improvising. Okay, he's up there for the memes. Obviously, everybody knows that. Whew, okay. That was a lot of characters, that's a lot of my voice, that's a lot of minutes in the recording file. Anyway, that was my Steve Saga tier list, ranked from least to most favorite character. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you don't hate me for any of my takes. Again, the comment section is right there. Go use it and tell me how much you hate me, or love me. I'm done talking for the week. See y'all later.